What's up, everybody? Brett Mix here, Macho Wrestling 101. We're up to SummerSlam 2018 in the SummerSlam anthology. If you like this channel and you like the history of wrestling videos we do every day, I invite you to hit the subscribe button. I would appreciate that. We just stick up to date with Raw, SmackDown, and PLE events as well. That being said, let's get right into the SummerSlam 2018 event, which took place from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. This is the 31st annual SummerSlam coming to you from August 19th, 2018. There's 16,169 strong in attendance, and this SummerSlam had a lot of matches, a lot of good technical matches on the card, so we'll see if it delivers. We opened it up with a classic Intercontinental title match between Dolph Ziggler defending with Drew McIntyre against Seth Rollins, who had Dean Ambrose in his corner. Ziggler must be up there for main event, or not main event, but opening matches at SummerSlam. He's opened with Ray, he's opened with Kofi, he's opened with, I want to say, Miz, Seth here. He's got to be up there. This one just went back and forth. This was a great match. The first 10 minutes were a bit more methodical, but the last 10 minutes were all climatic. A lot of action happening, zigzags, kickouts. The crowd gave him a standing ovation at one point. Rollins wanted the curb stomp, but McIntyre sent Ambrose into the ring post. Ziggler hit the zigzag for a near fall that was close. Rollins was bleeding by the left side of his head, so the ref put on the rubber gloves, which didn't really take away the climax, but it just added to the intrigue. The match was about 20 minutes at the point that happened. The match continued with Rollins and Ziggler getting each other's roll-ups. So the roll-up of doom, you think the match is going to end soon. They were right, but not at the roll-up, thank God. Rollins picked up Ziggler with a buckle bomb and hit him right into the turnbuckle. McIntyre went back on the apron. Ambrose kicked him out and hit a dirty deeds, the DDT on the floor. Rollins with a super kick to Ziggler. Rollins with the curb stomp on Ziggler, and he covered him for the pinfall victory at 22:01 to become the new Intercontinental Champion. I give it 4 stars and a quarter. Excellent opener, one of the best SummerSlam openers ever. It's probably a top 5 SummerSlam opener ever, if not a top 4. There's just been some great SummerSlam openers, including Dolph Ziggler versus Ray, the Brainbusters versus the Hart Foundation. I want to say there was another Dolph one, or a Miz versus Seth Rollins match. There's been other ones that have been in the 4.5 star category. So that's why I say top 5. But it was definitely a classic. Next up, we had the Bludgeon Brothers, Harper and Rowan, with the SmackDown titles against the New Day. The heel champions were in control earlier, and often the hot tag would be made to Big E, and he came out and laid out the competition. Harper and Rowan. Woods got the tag and climbed to the top. Harper left the ring. The fans stood and Woods thought about what he was going to do, and he hit an elbow drop to Harper on the floor. Woods rolled Harper back into the ring, though, and Big E picked up Harper, and Woods was slow to climb up, so Rowan hit Woods with a mallet in the face, which led to the DQ finish. The fans booed the cheap attack, and it went just 15 seconds short of 10 minutes. The New Day were the winners by DQ, while the Bludgeon Brothers retained the titles after they purposely lost the match by DQ with the mallet shot to the face. It was an exciting match otherwise. I'd give it 3 stars. Despite the DQ ending, I thought the match had a good pace. And moving on, we have a Money in the Bank contract match between Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens. So this is our first disappointment of the night. I only give this match 1.5 stars. It only went 150. Strowman picked up Owens and hit a chokeslam on the bottom of the steel ramp. The referee checked on Owens. And back in the ring, Strowman picked up Owens and hit a running power slam for the win at 150. So Braun Strowman got the victory. Just dominated Owens for a squash victory. Put over the monster that Braun Strowman is. The Braun Strowman's pushes, he's either tag teaming with Alex or he's dominating the Federation, challenging Brock for the title. It's up and down with Braun Strowman. But this match was just 1.5 stars. Very short. Just a squash over Owens. People thought Owens deserved better there. SmackDown Women's Championship, Carmella versus Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch. Carmella's sort of the odd lady out, but she proved she could hang with these two. This match was really good. They gave him a lot of time to work, 15 minutes and 15 seconds to be exact. Lynch had a Bexploder suplex, disarmor by Lynch to Carmella, who was close to tapping out, but the Flair came back in with a natural selection neckbreaker on Becky for the pinfall win at 15-15. I rate the match 3.5 stars because they gave the ladies time. As I said, Carmella even hung with Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. Charlotte won the match, but Becky turned on her after and beat the shit out of her, and Carmella and got a lot of cheers doing it. And Charlotte Flair cried at ringside. Was she crying because the fans were cheering that Becky kicked the shit out of her, or was she crying because Becky kicked the shit out of her? One will never know, but she's a Flair, so she must be insecure. Anyways, that was a great match, though. You can't take anything away from Charlotte Flair's in-ring competitiveness, and you can't take anything away from the match. It's like I said, 3.5 stars. Next up, we had a good match too here. WWE title on the line with Samoa Joe taking on champion AJ Styles. Some fans were chanting TNA before the match started. I believe they also wrestled on ROH, or was that Samoa Joe and CM Punk? I believe it was that Punk and Styles, or Punk and Joe. Maybe even Styles and Joe too, but I know they definitely wrestled in TNA. Nonetheless, they brought some of that old school wrestling into this match. They worked the WWE style really good. They transitioned quite well. Tons of back and forth here. The seesaw match, and it really went both ways. No wasted motion either. Both guys hit a ton of offense to each other. Joe whipped Styles face first into the steel steps, and Joe grabbed the microphone and said, "I made you a promise that Daddy was coming home. It looks like he is not, but I'll be your new daddy." Styles got back up and was furious, bleeding from the head, and tackled Joe off the announce table through the barricade. Styles attacked some guy at the timekeeper's table. Styles grabbed a steel chair and hit Joe in the back. Styles hit Joe in the back with the chair again. The ref called for the bell after the first chair shot at 22:45, and it ends by DQ. Rate this match 3 stars and 3/4. Even though it ended by DQ, it still was a great WWE title match. They gave it almost 23 minutes, 15 seconds short of that. Styles got to the ropes during the Coquina Clutch submission attempt, which was nice. Joe speaking during the match was also added a layer of viciousness. The "Who's Your Daddy" chant got chanted. It was well timed, and it was funny what Joe said to Wendy. WWE was mentioning it because Joe is married with kids of his own, but Styles has yet to talk about it, mostly because Joe's doing it as a heel. Yeah, so good match here. And we have another classic coming up here between The Miz and Daniel Bryan. So just banger after banger in this pay-per-view here. The Miz did the Bryan tribute moves early, with Miz hitting with the kicks to the drop kick. Bryan worked over The Miz with kicks to the chest. Miz came back with a knee DDT and a near fall. The Miz was near the ropes, and managed to get his hand on the bottom ropes to break the hold by Bryan when he hit the S-lock on him. Bryan hit with a running knee strike to Miz, landing right in front of Maurice at ringside. Maurice put something in the left hand of the Miz, which the referee and Bryan never see, but it was right there on camera. Bryan kicked the Miz into the barricade. Bryan went for a suicide dive, but Miz, holding on to whatever it was, had something in his hand and punched Bryan with it during the suicide dive, which knocked Bryan out. Miz covered Bryan for the victory at 23:20. So 40 seconds short of 24 minutes. They gave them a lot of time. It's a classic match here. I rate it 4 stars. The match was really good. There was some slow moments in the first 10 minutes, but I thought the next 15 minutes after that were just a rapid pace. And the first 10 minutes, just because they were slow doesn't mean they were bad. It was just more of a methodical pace. So 3 stars and 3/4 for that one. Demon Finn Balor took on Constable Baron Corbin. This match only ended at 1:35 after the coup de grace by Balor, who got the victory, rated 0.5 star. Next up, we had the U.S. title between Shinsuke Nakamura and Jeff Hardy. They gave this one just 11 minutes, but they still had a pretty decent match. Hardy crashed to the floor after Nakamura sent Hardy back to the ring. Kick to the back of the head by Shinsuke, and hit the Kinshasa, and needed strike to the head for the pinfall at 11 minutes. I rated 3 stars. It was like a TV match. It didn't get to that extra layer because of only 11 minutes went. But not every match of this pay-per-view could be a classic. Still, great match. Next up, we have Ronda Rousey versus Alexa Bliss. Natalya was in Rousey's corner for the Raw Women's title. Alexa Bliss was defending the title. Bliss she really stood no chance against Rousey. Rousey was asking her if she's ready for it, and she grabbed the left arm of Bliss and worked on her arm, and then Bliss is double jointed as we've seen in the past. Rousey pulled on the arm and the arm bar, and Bliss tapped out at 4 minutes even. So, new champion Ronda Rousey. I'll rate it a star because it was just basically a squash, and maybe didn't even need to go the 4 minutes it went. Next up, we have the Universal title on the line in the main event. Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman defending against Roman Reigns. Brock upset Roman. I say upset even though he was the defending champion at WrestleMania earlier in the year. Many people thought Roman was going to win the title, but they pulled an audible and went with Brock, even though I think Roman was booked to win originally. And instead, they delayed it till SummerSlam, so this would be the pay-per-view where Roman Reigns would decrown Brock. The fans were really tired of this. They chanted, "You both suck," at Lesnar and Reigns. Reigns went for a running attack on Lesnar, but Brock moved out of the way and ended up hitting a suicide dive. Lesnar walked up, and Braun Strowman came to the ring, and the suicide dive hit Strowman. Lesnar gave Strowman an F5 on the floor. Lesnar picked up the Money in the Bank briefcase and hit Strowman in the back with it multiple times as he came out to cash. Lesnar tossed the briefcase up the ramp. Lesnar hit Strowman in the back with a chair 2 times in a row. Lesnar called Strowman a bitch. Lesnar brought the chair to the ring. Reigns hit a spear, and Reigns pinned Lesnar to win the Universal Championship. So, yeah, the match went just 6-10. And Roman Reigns is the new champion. And I rate that match 2.5 stars. Outside the crowd involvement, it was just a crash and bang match. So can't really give it more than that. Reigns is the new Universal Champion as the fans booed, and they zoomed in on Roman so you didn't see the fans boo, and then they did the fireworks and then the long shot so you can't see the crowd booing. It was probably a 7.5 out of show, but just because of the ending, I'll drop it down to a 7. So this SummerSlam gets a 7 out of 10, but there was a number of great matches on the card, so I definitely recommend rewatching SummerSlam 2018. Alright, so that's SummerSlam 2018. We'll see you back here for SummerSlam 2019. I'm Brett Mix. Hit like and subscribe for my videos, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Brett Mix, and I'm out.